And good evening once again. Day 1251 of the Trump administration. 133 days now remain until the presidential election as our nation grapples with a surge of new coronavirus outbreaks. And as Dr. Fauci warned today, we are now entering a critical 2-week period. Trump was back on the road, this time in Arizona. Must-win state for him. Also happens to be one of the hotspots in our country. Just today, according to the AZ Central website, Arizona set records in 5 separate categories: new cases, daily hospitalizations, inpatient beds, ICU beds, and ventilators in use. 5 new records. Trump's agenda did not include anything on the ground related to the virus, but did feature a photo op at his border wall, then a speech at a Students for Trump rally indoors at a megachurch in Phoenix. It was his second indoor event in 4 days, this time in a state where the virus is spiking again, as it was in Oklahoma. And note, these pictures show the kind of indoor mass gathering we have not seen in this country since winter. People sitting close together, most of them not wearing masks. It's only the second indoor mass gathering in our country in 4 days, and the president has presided over both of them. Like his speech at the Tulsa rally, this one featured a xenophobic slur to describe the virus.
I said the other night, there's never been anything where they have so many names. I could give you 19 or 20 names for that, right? It's got all different names. Wuhan. Wuhan was catching on. Coronavirus, right? Kung flu, yeah. Kung flu. COVID-19, COVID. I say, what's the 19? COVID-19, some people can't explain what the 19. Give me the COVID-19. I said, that's an odd name.
The 19, of course, is about the year 2019 when the virus was discovered. Tonight, the Washington Post says 7 states report record hospitalizations since the start of this pandemic. As we mentioned, Arizona, but then Arkansas, California, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, they all fall into that category. About half the states in the nation are reporting a rise in virus infections, heavily in the South and West now. Today, what was in effect the first virus task force meeting in 2 months, except it took place during a congressional hearing. Dr. Anthony Fauci issued this warning about the new outbreaks.
We're now seeing a disturbing surge of infections. One of the things is an increase in community spread. And that's something that I'm really quite concerned about. Right now, the next couple of weeks are going to be critical in our ability to address those surgings that we're seeing in Florida, in Texas, in Arizona, and in other states.
Fauci did add he believes there's a good chance we may have a vaccine by 2021. It can't come soon enough. The virus has killed well over 121,000 of our fellow citizens. It has sickened more than 2.3 million that we know of. Meanwhile, both the president and members of his coronavirus task force today faced questions about Trump's comment at his Tulsa rally on Saturday when he ordered his people to slow down testing in order to reduce the number of new cases.
I don't kid.
As a member of the task force and my colleagues on the task force, to my knowledge, I know for sure, but to my knowledge, none of us have ever been told to slow down on testing. We're going to be doing more testing, not less.
All of us have been and continue to be committed to increasing readily, timely access to testing.
This afternoon in Phoenix, Trump again made 2 more false assertions that contradict what we're seeing and what we've heard from the medical experts.
We're doing so well after the plague. It's going away. They'll say, we have more cases. Now, look, we want to do testing. We want to do everything. But they use it to make us look bad. We do all these tests, and we find pockets, and we find people, and we find cases, and they say, the cases have jumped.
Meanwhile, a new report from the Daily Beast, co-authored by Sam Stein, who's standing by to join us, says Task Force Coordinator Dr. Deborah Birx told the nation's governors in a call on Monday that it was vital that they ramp up testing. That comes as the New York Times reports what would be something of a switch, a change in the power dynamic, if you will. The European Union considering blocking Americans from entering the EU because the U.S. has failed to control the virus. Times also reports Saudi Arabia has effectively canceled the Hajj, the annual pilgrimage to Mecca, for what some scholars say may be the first time in its history. Amid all of this, Trump is continuing to spread unsubstantiated allegations against voting by mail, which many states already do and others are considering during this pandemic. Here's what he said about it just tonight.
The Democrats are also trying to rig the election by sending out tens of millions of mail-in ballots, using the China virus as the excuse for allowing people not to go to the polls. Mail-in ballots is a disaster for our country. This will be, in my opinion, the most corrupt election in the history of our country, and we cannot let this happen.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.